Namaste, my name is Sanat Kumar. Welcome back to the Manana Podcast. Manana is a Sanskrit word that means reflection or contemplation. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my deep, insightful reflections for you to contemplate and hence live a life of fulfillment. I hope you find great value in today's episode. Let's say you're already practicing witness mode and have realized a few truths, especially your truth, that is, what you feel is your way of serving in this lifetime. As we've talked about in the episode, The Last Key to Success, the last leap is in choosing to believe in that truth you've realized. Before you proceed any further, please note this episode is not for one who already has inaction as their philosophy. If you're listening to this, you might not be that person. This episode is for someone who is willing to work but is in the crosshairs of deciding between passions and choosing to believe. Also, I suggest you read the blog or listen to the episode. You are a multi-passionate. I've debunked believing in other blogs. When there's awareness, there's no need for believing. When you see the snake, you immediately jump. You do not ask yourself to believe it. But what if that snake turns out to be a fake one? And what if that happens multiple times? Or what if the fake snake's bite causes you to bleed? Then even though it is impossible logically, you choose to believe that the poison has been ingested into your system. You will call for help and or do the necessary first aid believing the poison is in the bleeding region. Anyway, if you did not understand any of that, it's the improvisation of an analogy from the previous episodes. If you have not listened, that's okay. I suggest you go and listen to them anyway. And all you need to understand from that analogy is that sometimes in life, even though conventional reasoning has different opinions, you just got to choose to believe in your truth and plunge into action towards that realization. Actually, we are naturally designed to do this, to believe in some philosophy or truths. Functioning without some framework as a reference is almost impossible for our human brain. Have you seen a person who doesn't subscribe to any philosophy? If yes, then he or she will have her own philosophy against all other philosophies, right? Of course, I'm not saying everybody is conscious of this. Their philosophies might be their undercurrent. It will be like their subconscious. Their actions will be based on this philosophy, but they don't know that they already subscribe to this philosophy. That is there. That I agree. But everyone has some way of understanding life. They need stories to feel connected and to understand their place in the grander scheme of life. No matter who you are, or what you do, you'll be nothing. You'll be forgotten anyway. Not just you and me. People will even forget Apple company someday. Imagine that. Maybe not in a few decades or even centuries, but definitely after thousands of years, right? And this realization should liberate you and at the same time ease you into action. My point is, do not wait for a philosophy, a mystical experience, or someday somehow you will realize what is your truth and then you will start doing something about it. Follow your gut right now. What interests you? What does not? Choosing to believe in your truth means to 1. Removing resistance in all formats, that is self-doubt and inertia or laziness. 2. Becoming bold. 3. Consistent action. And when I say becoming bold, it is not a social thing. It might be a social thing, but more than that. And whether you can agree on it or not, the universe starts to cooperate with you in magical ways. At least it feels that way. You will receive knowledge, experience, connections, and opportunities exactly as needed. And for that to happen, all you've got to do is choose to believe in your truth and plunge yourself into action with slight detachment towards the result. Sure, you can dream, but stay unattached to the result. Just believe and do. You might have seen many people with not so great skill levels receive a lot from the universe. Sometimes we may think it's unfair, but at its core, what's working for such people is that they believe in their truth, their story, and their dreams so much that it becomes a reality. This is not magic. This is simply the working of our brain, simple human psychology. Or you can say, understanding of the universe. When you believe, you have the drive to achieve, and when you are detached from the result, no room for disappointment and complete focus on action, and hence the results are achieved. This is not something new. Lord Sri Krishna has already mentioned this while preaching to Arjuna thousands of years ago. But like any of my blogs, I write what I've realized to be true from my own experience and put it here in my words. If these blogs, which in turn these episodes, are nudging even a single being from inaction to action, darkness to awareness, then that's all I aspire to do through this. I hope you received excellent value in today's episode. To know more, head over to sanatkumarnahibi.com, and if you haven't already, check out my book The Flower of Fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and I wish you have a great day.